Believe it or not, I have a sort of plan for these videos, but sometimes something comes up and skips the line, and I know I have to do a video on it. So, here's why I love Tower Tactics Liberation. This game checks a lot of boxes for me. Deck building, tower defense, and roguelike. I love all these things, as you may see from previous videos, although I don't think I made a video on a tower defense game yet. If I did, I'm sure I put it on screen to make fun of myself. Here. Anyway, I've played so many tower defense games in my time, going all the way back to things on Newgrounds and other Flash sites. I have tried playing some newer games, but lately I've found myself getting a bit bored with these. I feel you either hit a point where you have to have chosen the correct strategy because of how difficult it is, or you're doing the same things over and over and every level feels the same. Well, this is a very long-winded way of saying this game feels like it adds just enough to the tower defense genre to make it exciting again. Because you don't know what towers will drop into your hand each turn, you have to be more adaptive with your strategy to survive each wave. You can build a deck to favor a playstyle, but you have to know how to balance things for the more challenging stages. Because if you do not have cheap cards, you'll find yourself unable to play a tower at the start, but if you don't have something more expensive, you might not be able to deal with the high health enemies. I guess that's building a curve in deck building terms. I really like the simple system of towers and spells just costing mana, and the mana regenerating each wave. You can save up mana so you gain more per turn via the overload system. In basic terms, you gain 1 mana each turn, but if you save 5 or more mana, then you get 2 mana a turn. Each boss you beat gives you 1 extra mana per wave. There are ways to alter every aspect of that, but overload is kind of the equivalent of saving currency to level up a tower. You can choose if you want to deploy a new tower or just save a little mana to get a bonus next time around. The mana system makes me feel like I'm making choices that will keep me alive and my run going rather than just trying to make the perfect defense. I also like how tower upgrades work. If you play 3 of the same tower, they combine into the same tower of a higher level. So if you have a deck without much variety, you're going to get high level towers very quickly. The last thing I want to say about the tower defense aspect of the game is there are some interesting towers. This game does have simple towers, ones that just shoot, slow enemies, do splash damage, but there are some fun ones, like a tower you can reposition to deal area damage, or one that becomes stronger based on how many spells you've used. There still exist the simple towers you know and love, but there are some fun and weird ones. They really allow you to have some interesting builds that focus on specific bonuses of some of the towers. The roguelike part of the game is largely similar to Slay the Spire, which receives no complaints from me because I love that game, and I think the way you traverse each zone is very cool. In this game, you go from point to point approaching the boss of each zone before going on to the next. You can choose from a standard fight, elite fight, shops, rest sites, events, and a few others that have been added since writing the script. The major difference about traversal in this game is that you can explore most every area in a zone. If you plan out your path, you can see what locations connect to each other, allowing you to pick if you want to go the fastest path to the boss, or if you want to try to hit as many areas as possible to get as many bonuses as possible. You're still hunting rewards to increase your strength, gaining new cards, upgrading stats, gaining relics. These roguelike aspects are things you'll probably be familiar with if you've played many other roguelikes. But this game does it all very well, and it does my new favorite thing in a game like this. It calls it a victory lap. If you beat the 3rd area, the game asks you if you want to do a victory lap, which allows you to keep playing with all the bonuses you already have. It even increases the difficulty by adding an ascension level, adding new modifiers to make it harder on you. The only issue with this is that it can spiral into a very long run if you make a really strong build. Guess that's only a problem if you only wanted to play for a short bit, but you can just save and quit and start over from where you left off. I've found that this game just feels good to my brain. I had trouble writing this because I would play for a bit to mark down what I liked, and then found myself just playing, lost in the game for a few hours. I enjoy the progression system for the game. Your score is turned into experience, and as you level up, you unlock new starting decks, new slots for upgrades. You collect offerings and currency to craft your own upgrades. You can pick what you like for your run each time, stacking what you think would be most important to help you win. Customizing your bonuses to your liking adds an aspect of control I don't often see in roguelikes. It feels really good. The game looks pretty good too. I guess it isn't the most beautiful game I've ever seen, but the art is simple, clean, and easy to read. I've never been confused as to which tower or enemy I'm looking at. Finally, I enjoy the music. It feels very spacey, appropriate for the setting and backgrounds. I like that each sector has a set of tracks that are all variations on a theme. The Explore track is ambient and chill. The combat takes that track and layers some music on top of it to add to the feeling of action. The boss track feels like they're a bit more intense, but you can still find the theme of the zone in there. It's a very interesting way to make a soundtrack. I guess the last point to make about this game is it is early access, so changes can and will happen. The game changed while I was working on this script. The mana system used to be different, for example. In fact, it's changed a couple times since then. The combined parts of this game work so well together, creating a really fun experience. I've been enjoying playing this game in early access, new towers being added, and every update makes me come back and play the game, even if I'm distracted with something else. This game is very good. If you like either tower defense or deck builders, this is a game you should give a try. Plus, it's only $11, so it won't be too demanding of a purchase. Now I really have to finish this video before they change the game. Again. Howdy y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video. I just have to stop saying that the next video will come out earlier than the last one. It just doesn't happen. I do have some ideas for videos coming up, but I'm entering into busy times in my personal life. This video was quite delayed. Trips, weddings, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So, who knows when the next video will happen, but more will happen. Look forward to that whenever it happens.